All right. Is the music playing, Kristen?
You're good.
Okay, good. Thanks. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, everyone. We're glad to have you here. Jennifer Woodland in the house with her big Canadian smile. Always nice to see. Francis in the house as well. I'm not going to try the last name. You know, I've said it correctly before. I'm not going to do it again. There's no need to prove it. I don't want to, brag or anything like that.
I mean, I would have expected more from a Navy linguist. I'm just saying.
Well, Kristen, you know what? One of the things about being in the Navy is we do like to keep you, surprised. You know what I mean? Like the element of surprise is always good. Yeah. All right. Chauncey's in the house. Hadn't seen you in a couple days. Good to have you here, buddy. Jeff Curtis in the house. Steve Umstead. Hadn't seen you in a while, too, man. We got everybody's. You know why? Because of Owen.
True.
It's probably because of Owen. I mean, and honestly, why wouldn't it be? I mean, look at this fella. What a dapper individual. I just got to tell you.
I really think attendance goes down by about 150 people on Thursdays because I'm on.
That is absolutely wrong, my friend. Absolutely wrong. No, everybody loves to hear what you got to say. All right. Well,
and everybody gets 5 IQ points just for showing up. 5 IQ points just for showing up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we
down
do have some
from the normal 20 when Chris Johnstone is
on. Right on. Well, man, it's so good to have everybody here. Let me make a couple of quick adjustments here real quick. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, say good morning to us in the chat. Where are you at? How's the temperature doing when you're out? We finally cooled off. We had kind of a 3 or 4 day hot streak in triple digits out here in Northern California, but now we're down in the 80s, which is kind of nice. I kind of like the 80s, So, anyways, hey, I do want to share something again. I am going to go to the news. I just want you to know I'm tweaking on this with Rick over at Mortgage Marketing Animals, and we're really dialing this thing in to make it really, really nice. I am going to share this link into the chat for you guys. This is today's news, and most importantly, what I want to show you is we have the email subscribe front and center here. So if you just email subscribe to the news updates, I do them every single day. I super enjoy doing them. I look for interesting stories, stories that I think are good, that kind of a thing. I saw this story, and I know you're a fan of Housing Wire, but did you see this video they did?
I have not seen that video, no.
So that they had their big AI summit or whatever, and so they got all AI'd out. That's a cool thing to say, AI'd out. So they got all AI'd out, and they had AI put this whole thing together, and it's the future of housing as seen by AI, and it's put together by AI. So I embedded the video here into the blog post. It's super cool. You guys got to check it out. It's just pretty doggone interesting what AI predicts. You know what? Chris, I'd like your thoughts on this. Like Elon Musk is saying how eventually here, over the next 20 years or whatever, there's just going to be this. How does he phrase it? Where everybody's just going to basically have everything that they want. What's the terminology that he uses for that? Like it's going to get to the point where there's just this surplus of everything for everyone. Like, life utopia kind of a thing is what they act because of AI and all this stuff. This kind of said it too with respect to housing. It kind of gets in there and says like where it's going to be. It's a very, very interesting video. And today also, curious to hear what you got to say about this, Owen, but Besant, he's saying, I think the Fed should cut 150 basis points, 175 basis points. Like he is all into it, man. And I won't get into everything else. Yeah. But cash out refinances, the data's out again, man. It's like they're surging. There's refi business out there, my friends, right?
I may or may not have a tidbit of information on that in about 2 weeks.
Yay. And then, of course, ChatGPT 5 rolled out. And there's some backlash on it. Some things aren't working properly, and they're going to be tweaking on that loan officer and realtor and home buyer and seller perspective. Frank's thoughts, that kind of a thing. I'll put this into the chat for you, okay? When you get there, please just go ahead and email subscribe right on that email button there, and it'll be awesome. You'll get it every day. And the nice thing is when it comes in every day, the email that you get actually shows the last 5 blog posts, the titles of the last 5 blog posts. So if you missed one catches your attention, you can click it and you can get to it there. So that's what's going on there. Before we continue on, I just want to make sure we deal with any announcements that we have. So today is Thursday. We are still doing, of course, Gen Z Call Stars. We've got Carl White.
Call Star starts right at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
For the East Coast, and then at 11:30 for the West Coast. And Carl will be there going over all the scripting for today. It's really been great. People have really been loving it.
How could they not?
Oh, hi.
How could they not? How could they not? Do you even need to say that? It's like saying, hey, we went to Disney and we had a great time. Well, of course you had a great time. So yeah, so today we're doing pre-approved and looking, which again, super easy call to make. We get lots of business from it. And then we're also going to talk about this, I don't want to say sneaky, but kind of the sneaky little text that we send out on Thursdays to our real estate agents. So that's what we're doing today. So looking forward to seeing.
And then Carl is going to be on the 2 o'clock class today.
I was going to ask, what is the complete loan officer today? Yeah, what is it? What are we doing?
Oh, boy, great topic. So I'm going to give you, so for our members, I'm going to give you a refinance toolkit. And so I'm going to give you an email to send out. I'm going to give you a letter to send out. I'm going to give you a voice script. And I'm going to give you something that you can send, like you can email and your database can download it, and it'll produce incoming phone calls for refinances. So really slick little thing. So it's totally turnkey. You just take my name off, put your name on, or you could leave my name on. Me and Owen, Owen and I would really appreciate that. But yeah, take my name off.
It is a very handsome face.
It is. Yeah, we use Owen's face and my name. So I actually did that one time.
Law and Order. I love it.
I did that one time. I had a buddy of mine that was an old friend of mine and yours, Owen. That he was sending a mailer out. This is like 15 years ago. He was sending a mailer out, Consumer Direct, and was killing it. And so I said, hey, show me what you're doing. So he showed me. I said, who you buying your list from? He showed me. So I got it. So I got the same list guy. His was in Michigan, mine was in Florida. So I got the same list guy. I got the exact same mailer, same font, same print house, same everything. Send it out, nothing. Right, and this guy was closing like 8, 9, 10 loans a month just from this one, in addition to his other stuff, just from this one mailer. I went, what the hell? And so I sent out again, nothing. And I went, dude, with your permission, I'm going to get your picture and have it put on my postcard. I did. No. It still was nothing. Yeah, it's still good.
Okay. So, I was going to say.
So anyway.
Wow. It's going to be epic, man. So for members.
Yeah, this refinance, let's call it loans in the box that I'm going to give you today. It's really easy, super simple, no thought process whatsoever. Just print it out and send it. So it's really nice. And there's an email that goes with and video script.
Loans in the box. What could be better than loans in the box?
It's really turnkey. It's super simple, and it just flat out works.
Well, gosh darn it. I want to be on that. How do I get on that? Anyone tell me. Kristen, what do I got to do to get in on that class?
We have our standards.
Okay, right, whatever.
Yeah, just reach out to the office, email one of us, email support if you want to. It's for members. It's a members class.
Okay, so there you go. Reach out to the office. See, this is why it pays to be a member. Just one of the many reasons to be a member. Yeah. That's what we always.
Hey, Owen, are you going to talk about some of the things that Trump said by chance?
I'm going to, yes.
Okay,
well,
cool.
Trump says a lot of things.
No, I got it. I got it. And again, we made it perfectly clear. This is not a political show. And I went out on a limb yesterday. If Oprah ever runs for president, I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote for her. I'm just putting that on the table. But yeah, he said some very interesting things here last couple of days. And there's a lot of things about Trump. But let me tell you one thing: I would never bet against that man. Like, I would like him, hate him, vote for him, don't vote for him, don't ever bet against him, right? So if he says something, boy, there's some, I wouldn't bet against what he says is going to happen, which in this case, good news for us.
If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time. Well, I can't wait to hear about all this, so why don't we just go ahead and get right to it and get to the mortgage market update with Mr. Owen
Lee. Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Well,
morning.
I'm just like rapidly Googling Trump to see which one of the comments, Carl.
I've got it printed out here, ready to go, just in case.
The 10 or 11 people that are in the running for Fed chair, or the latest on how he is not a fan of Jerome Powell, or
well, I just want to go on record that for the first time in 15 years that I've known him, I trumped Chris Johnstone the other day. I knew one sliver piece of information that he did not have yet. And so we went on record. We had it. It's documented. It's put in the National Archives now. And so today might be that day too. So we'll see, Owen.
All right. So anyway, all right. Well, why don't we then we'll just throw up that I'm thinking about one scintilla of information that I might know that Chris doesn't. I don't know where that would be, but anyway. So I thought we would start off this morning, just a couple of things. I was talking about the refinances and whatnot. We're gonna get to that in a second. But we've got this trend here, and the trend is, you can definitely see for the last month, we're up considerably. Our market is up about, we go in ticks on this, which is 300 or 3 basis points per. So our market is up about 100, 125 basis points, maybe 150 since about July 10th. And that's really, really good news for interest rates. You can see, look at all the way to the right, that last little climb. That is officially putting us at the best rates for the year, tied or a little ahead that spike we had back in the first week of April. But you can see in April, how far it went down. We lost about 220 basis points in about 10 days because of Liberation Day and the reciprocal tariffs and what people thought that was going to do. And it's really taken us about 4 months to kind of recover from that, and to have people agree that, the tariff thing is kind of muted. And so, although we did get a whopping wholesale price number about 10 minutes ago. So we got to press our bets here, because, as I put in this chart, is this the new norm? I don't really know. Are we going to fall 220 basis points in the next 10 days like we did in April? I don't really know. I don't think so, because I don't think there's anything like the tariff. We're starting to get some tariff deals. EU has been signed. Japan's been signed. Korea has been signed. England has been signed. He's got some big ones in the door. So I think people are kind of accepting a framework. The big, beautiful bill has passed and been passed and signed into law for 6 weeks. So that's all gone into the market. So I think we're good for the last 120, 150 days of the year. But as you look in April, there were a lot of people that thought we were good in April. So we got to be out there pressing our bets right now. But just look at the last, call it 2 weeks of this line, and how steeply the market has climbed. Again, market climbs, interest rates go down. Jen, if you want to go to the next slide. Okay, Okay. So here's what we have in here right now. The market is pricing in a 93.8% chance of a 25 basis point Fed rate cut in September. So that meeting will be on September 17th, roughly 5 weeks. I think 5 weeks from yesterday, they will come out with a decision. So when you look at that 93%, and the other undecided, the 6.2%, they're not in the camp of 0 cuts. They are in the camp of a 50 basis point cut instead of a 25 basis point cut. You've got 100% of the professional prognosticators pricing in some type of cut. So again, Jen, could you just go backwards and show that first slide again for a second?
No.
As we often talk about the first slide.
She got it. She got it.
Just give me a minute.
So we'll get this back up, and you will see that 93%, the 7% that's predicting a 50 basis point cut, it's already priced into the market. What the market is awaiting for now is some more information to figure out. They're about 50 to 60% sure we're going to get a second rate cut in December. That's not quite priced into the market yet. So when that gets priced into the market, that's when our next little advance will be, if it gets priced into the market fully. So, so you see there all the way to the right, we've already gotten the benefit of the anticipated rate cut in September. If Chair Powell comes out on September 17th, does his 25 basis point cut, says what the market expects him to say, I don't expect the market's really going to go anywhere. If anything, the market will move based on the statement, if the statement says anything that the market's not expecting. So it's already priced in. So again, all the people in your pipeline, all your realtors, be a prophet, Prophet. Let them know, what's happening. Put your own information on this slide, send them out. But I just wanted to kind of juxtapose those two things. 100% of the prognosticators predicting a cut. We've already got that benefit in the market right now today. So can we go to the next, probably the third slide, Jen? Okay, so this is what you will see. We've got a 93% chance of a 25 basis point cut. We're at 25 to 50 right now. So when you look at that 400 to 25, that's in September. If you look at 10/29, meaning the end of October, you've got 64% believe will be 50 basis points lower. And then you've got a 50% of the market thinking that we will be down 3 cuts before the end of the year. So it's about 50-50. You can see 45.6% think that we will be at 75 basis points at the end of January. The long money on the market thinks by the end of next year, we've got 5 cuts coming. So they just disagree on how fast we'll get there.
The end of next year, like
by the end of 2026.
Okay,
yeah, that's a lot to price in, 5 cuts. So we're kind of riding that wave right now. So anyway, we were talking about so just as a reminder, like 6 months ago, they had a 50-50 shot of a cut in June, which we never got. These are professional predictors. So that's where they're at. Can we go to the last slide, Jen, real quick? Okay, so I thought this was very interesting, kind of what we were talking about with the cash out refinances, okay? So there was a survey done by ICE Mortgage. ICE Mortgage is the owner of Encompass. They do a lot more at that company than produce a loan origination system. They do a lot of analysis. They have economists. They try and identify trends because they want to know how they should tweak all their products. So second quarter cash out transactions accounted for 60% basically of all refinances. Monthly payment increase rose on average almost $600 a payment. What does that tell you, right? The $600 in the additional mortgage payment, which really isn't $600, it's about $475 by the time you factor in the tax deductibility of that payment, went to pay credit cards, went to pay car loans, went to pay personal debt that runs at about 15%. So the average homeowner was willing to go up $600 in debt because it probably brought down about $1,200 to $1,500 in debt on the other side. 70% of cash out buyers accepted a higher interest rate.
Wow.
With an average increase of 1.5 percentage points. Okay, 1.45. In exchange for drawing an average of almost $100,000 in equity. That means the average transaction, the interest rate went up 1.5%. They took out almost $100,000 in equity and probably used it to pay off $100,000 in consumer debt.
Wow.
So tappable home equity, the amount that a homeowner can access while still retaining 20% equity, is at an all-time high of $11.6 trillion as part of the almost $18 trillion Americans have in home equity. Americans are house rich for the homeowners at a pace that we've never before seen since we were keeping records. 48 million mortgage holders had tappable equity on average of over $200,000 for each house of that 48 million. What does that tell you? That tells you that means we've got record consumer debt and we've got a record home equity to pay for that record consumer debt. I think we're in good cash out refinance land right now. And if we get any more cooperation on interest rates, we'll be in even better cash out land. So now is a great time to call your databases about this. Now is a great time to ask your realtors if you can call their database, because they might be interested in selling. They also might be interested in a cash out refi. So I'm just saying, this is record green grass for the cash out refi folks. And every time we get a little tick better, that message gets even a little bit better. So these are just the facts. They might have gone by, without people noticing. But if there was ever a time to call your database, this is by far the best time to call your database in the last 5 years.
Yep.
Really, since we started to get 3% and 2% interest rates in 2020 and 2021, everybody knew what the interest rate was back then. Not everybody knows these facts, but they're just as pertinent to the average person in your pipeline. So I would be calling your pipelines right now. I think arguably you have even a better story to tell than 2020 and 2021, and you can just share some of those facts. Again, Jen, we should probably put this, there's a lot of good information in that slide deck that people can use. So I would,
I got it.
I would definitely go.
Drop it in the chat.
Man, Owen, those are huge numbers. Like showing those numbers to your real estate agents and talking about the opportunity that you have together to get that information out. I had no idea.
Well, if you want to offer your realtor some good information, that 200, guess what? You get, I forget what that number was, Jen. You don't have to put it up again. But, when they sell their house, they're going to get a record amount of money to buy a new house.
Yep.
Right? inside of, and we already went over this, this is in a previous slide that we made available on a previous week, and now mortgage interest is deductible permanently up to $750,000, up from the $500,000. He's got a great story to tell to the move up buyer. So, you know, that person where your realtor can make 2 commission checks, the person that's going to sell their $450,000 house and buy a $675,000 house. This is a great time to share this information with your realtor. You know, all 339 people on this call should take these, position themselves as an expert, and just, you know, keep going.
Hey, thanks for enjoying this Loan Officer Breakfast Club YouTube video. If you are into industry news, if you like to keep up with what's going on within the mortgage and real estate industry, you might not be aware of this, but you can get free news snippets every single day by going to loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. In the top nav bar, you'll see in the news. Click it, daily, fresh news about the mortgage and real estate industry. There's even loan officer perspective and realtor perspective on each news story that you can make use of in your marketing. So enjoy loanofficerbreakfastclub.com/in the news. You know,
there was a really good question in the chat. Sorry, Frank.
Go ahead.
But Owen, Mary said, is it true essentially one can look at cash out refi as tax-free as well?
So there's a debate on that. I think you could advertise it as looking at it cash free. I mean, if you think about it, like in that average scenario that was in the Housing Wire article where the person takes out $94,000 of equity. Okay. So the $94,000 of equity is tax free. You got to earn about $135,000 to keep 94.
Right.
So that is tax free. The only caveat to that is when that person ultimately sells the house, you get a one-time $500,000 equity deduction or appreciation deduction on your personal taxes. So it might not be tax-free depending upon how long they own their home and depending upon how much appreciation they have. You own your home for 20 years and you make $700,000 on appreciation on it. Maybe some of it's taxed, but I think it's safe to say it's largely tax-free.
Man, great answer.
You know, I got to tell you too, just with 5 projected cuts over the next year or so. Isn't that what you said? 5, Owen? Something like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Between now and the end of next year.
Between now and the end of next year. I mean, clearly this is going to have a positive impact on mortgage rates along the way, we would think, right?
Yep.
This is, you know, even with this first cut, if we get it in September, just the perception of it, right? Even though it might already be priced into rates, but just the perception of it, and just the fact that rates are, the talk is going to be now in the media that there's going to be rate cuts, This is, and as soon as we see mortgage rates just start to come down just a bit, man, I think the purchase market's just going to bust loose. Like right now, there is a little bit of that. I'm gonna wait. Still feels a little high, you know. Still feel a little unaffordable, you know. But as soon as we get a little bit of relief in rates, which sounds to me like it's gonna be by the end of the year, and then continuing through next year, man, I think the purchase market's just gonna bust loose. Because wouldn't you agree?
I do too. I mean, all of you folks in Florida, especially also the Carolinas, Atlanta, Texas, right, where you're kind of in a buyer's market for the first time in 5 years. I would get out to your realtors. I would get out of your purchasers. The story I would be telling is interest rates are coming down, not going up. There's a much greater likelihood. Perhaps use that chart and tell them, if interest rates go any lower, we're going to be right back to a buyer's market or a seller's market.
Seller's market, right.
So why not get off your rear end and buy now? Now is the best time to buy while things are moving in your direction. Don't think that they're going to be, if interest rates move from 6.5 to 6, I would respectfully submit that all those markets that are buyer's markets right now will become seller's markets again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And because people will be snapping them up. I would also say a little bit. We talked about how, like, I just don't feel that we're on shaky ground with the really good interest rates, but I'm more confident now than I was. You'll notice that someone dropped in the chat. Wholesale prices, the producer price index number came in way hot, up almost 1% for the month. That's not a great, it's some people view it as kind of a precursor to consumer inflation, although it's not consumer inflation. The bond market is having very little reaction. The U.S. 10-year bond's not even up a singular basis point. It's up literally 0.6 of 1 basis point. That's basically no reaction a half hour after this information came out. That's why I think we're a little more settled in to the rates are going lower mindset. But grab that, and I would put that 200 basis point decline from the first 2 weeks of April on your mirror when you brush your hair, brush your teeth, shave every morning to motivate you to go out and make calls right now. Because there's no better time to prospect than right now. Oh, anyway.
Awesome stuff. Let's get Jen, can you do me a favor? Get the slides in one more time into the chat, just for people that might not have grabbed it. So you got the slides going in there. I'm also going to put the link to the LOBC News article that we had up there. Remember, you can email subscribe when you get there, so that's in there as well. Man, great stuff. Owen Lee, golly, man, always a pleasure.
Last thing, real quick, Owen.
What you got?
So I got this article and I uploaded it in ChatGPT and told it to shorten it up so I could show it here today. So and I think you were talking about this earlier this morning. That Trump, his quote, interest rates should be cut by 3 percentage points. This would help the housing market and reduce government interest payments. Our rate should be 3 points, and he meant 3. He meant 3 interest rate points.
Basis points.
Yeah, 3%. Yeah.
That they'd be saving us $1 trillion per year as a country. And so much less the housing industry, what it would save our national debt. Because if you saw all those numbers that Owen was putting up about how many trillions of dollars in equity have in the houses, it doesn't equal our national debt. If we sold all the houses and everybody gave 100% of the profit to the government, would still be underwater. And so I think it's
I'll just say this last thing real quick, Carl. You're 100% right, and I would never bet against Trump either. I totally believe that, because the guy always finds a way. Love him, hate him, whatever, always finds a way. Right? Convicted as a felon 34 times, president today. Who knows? Right? Not being political, just being factual. Only thing I disagree with him on is that the Federal Reserve cut 300 basis points and the market perceived it was because of what Trump said. The market would have the opposite reaction and rates would actually go up. I want the 300 basis points just as much as all 330 people on this call. I just don't want the professional financial people to think it's because of political pressure, because it'll have the opposite.
Yeah, and I don't think it would. I don't think it's going to go down. That would put it at 1%. I can't see the Fed rate going down to 1%. But I guess the point of the slide for me is that we're definitely going to be seeing. Definitely, I think I'm betting on we're definitely going to be seeing a downward trend for the next year or two. And I really do. We saw the same, like those of us have been through the booms and the busts over the last 25 years. This only always happens. Like a lot of people tap out because they forget about how to prospect, and then they tap out. And then those of us, all of us here that are left, we end up having our banner year. It happened after the bust of '08. We had banner years like in 10, 11, 12, just we couldn't count the money so fast. Same thing happened, during the COVID. And I think it's going to happen again here in the end of this year and into next. It's going to be just banner.
And it often turns around when you least expect it.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta dash and go join.
That's right. We gotta roll.
Hey, members, don't forget we're doing the refinance toolkit today. You're going to want to be on that. I'm telling you, it's the simplest thing ever. and we've been having great results from it. So see ya
2 p.m.
2 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay, and Call Stars is starting now. And Owen Lee, thank you, man. Always so great to have you on the show.
Everyone.
We're super blessed and lucky, man. Appreciate you very much. You guys have a great day. We'll see you
later.
here tomorrow with Chris Johnstone, and we are going to be getting a free giveaway tomorrow, a custom AI GPT that you can use to get referral business from your database. Do not miss that. We will see you guys here tomorrow. Adios. Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Have a great day, everybody.